The last time I went to London, I was 12 years old, and my one goal for that trip was to find like a Doctor Who style police box, or a TARDIS for any of you Doctor Who fans out there. Because, you know, I was in middle school and I was at the peak of my Doctor Who obsession. So what else was I supposed to do in London, right? Also, at some point during that trip, I bought this really awful, ugly snapback. I really respect my mom and dad for letting me express myself, but like, no one should have let me buy that. But it's been 9 years since that trip, and those are kind of the only memories that I really have of London, which is a shame because I know that London's a really cool city. Luckily, about 2 weeks ago, I was able to go to London for a second time and make some more not Doctor Who oriented memories. I went on a little weekend trip to go visit my cousin Emma, who lives in London, kind of as like a celebration for finishing my thesis, and it was super fun. I had a great weekend, and I vlogged the whole time, although I didn't do a very good job of vlogging, which is why I'm filming this now. But without further ado, here's the story of my fun, albeit kind of unconventional, weekend in London, and it all starts very, very early on Friday morning.
I've been thinking about good times, so tell me all your worst lies. I'll believe them if I try. For the sake of time, just give me the eye. I've been thinking
I said
about
don't blow my high, I'm on that carpet ride. I've been swerving, I'm a servant to my magic side. I was in a magic city, going 50-50. I bet it all up on that red and they got real shifty. Pity, pity.
I'm having breakfast at McDonald's. I'll get some fries and a McMuffin, bacon and egg without any cheese. I never get like breakfast at McDonald's because I don't really love McDonald's breakfast. I'm trying to get a hash brown, but they didn't have any hash browns. Is that just like an American thing? It's like 7:20 in the morning. My flight isn't board for another 2 hours, but that's fine.
This is how I really feel.
So tell me all your worst lies. I'll believe them if I try. For the sake of time, just give me the eye.
When I arrived in London, I took about an hour or two, and I just kind of wandered around on my own. After wandering around, I went and met up with my cousin Emma, and we went to some really cool bookstores, which I was a total flop and didn't film anything of. I don't want to talk about it. I was just really excited to see all the books. That's all I gotta say. After the bookstores, we went to a cafe, we had some dinner, and then we went and saw a production of Legally Blonde, the musical, at this really cool outdoor theater in Regent's Park. I think that's right. We weren't allowed to take any pictures or videos during the performance, so I don't really have anything to show. It was super, super fun. I laughed like throughout the whole thing. I think Legally Blonde is a hilarious musical and they did a great job. And it was such a cool little venue. So if you are in London, go there, maybe. But that pretty much wraps up my first day in London. And now we can move on to day 2, the Saturday, which was just so weird. So somehow, ahead of my trip to London, I came into possession of this, a press pass to the London Comic Con. I don't really know how that happened. I don't really know why they were like, yeah, sure, let's let her come in as press, but they did. And so I went, and I spent pretty much the whole day Saturday at Comic-Con, which, let me tell you, what a weird experience. And I really didn't think I was gonna like it, but honestly, I had a wonderful time. I spent most of the day just kind of people watching, essentially, which was really fun, honestly. Like, I had a great time looking at everybody's costumes and just seeing how much everyone was really enjoying themselves. It was a really fun energy there. I also sat down and listened to a couple of panels with some fantasy authors, which is really, really interesting. I don't read many fantasy novels anymore, but it was really interesting to sit down and listen to these authors talk, and it kind of, you know, ignited this desire within me to kind of get back into reading some fantasy. And my cousin Emma was nice enough to get me this copy of The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, who was one of the authors who was there at Comic-Con. This is an absolute beast of a book. It's so long, and I'm very excited to read it whenever I get over my fear of books longer than 200 pages. But at the end of the day, as bizarre as it was, I thoroughly enjoyed Comic-Con. And afterwards we went out and had dinner at this cool place. Couldn't tell you where it was, don't remember. It was cool, I had good food, and that's all that matters. And that brings us to the third and final day in London. So because I spent the entire day at Comic-Con on Saturday, Sunday was the only day that I really had to do like typical London-y stuff. But my flight back to Amsterdam was in the early evening, so I only had the morning and the afternoon to try and squeeze in as much like touristy sightseeing stuff as possible. And I think we did a pretty good job. After all the wandering, I packed up my bag and I went to the airport. Alright, I've arrived at the London City Airport. I've never been to this airport before. I've flown through Heathrow a couple of times, like for layovers, but also just like when I came to London a few years ago, we came in through Heathrow. So this is my first time at London City Airport, and it was really nice. It took me like 45 minutes to get here. I'm just using like public transport. It's just about 6 o'clock right now, and my flight is supposed to leave at 7, so boarding is pretty soon. I've actually been at the airport for quite a while now already. I got here at 4, but I've just been hanging out. I found like a nice quiet area to sit. I have since left that area and lost my nice relaxing spot, so I'm in a little bit more of a crowded place right now. But I found a random table to sit at because I'm going to have a quick little dinner before my flight. I picked up the cheapest options I could find, a BLT sandwich, some chips, and a Dr. Pepper. I also got some chocolate as well, because why not? So I'm gonna eat that now. I need to eat pretty quickly though, because I think boarding is supposed to start in like 25 minutes maybe. But here we are. I'm back in the Netherlands now. It's been about 2 weeks since I got back from that trip. I definitely took my sweet time getting around to editing this video. I'm very sorry, Mom. I know you were excited for this one. Sorry for the wait. I hope the wait was worth it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I had a really fun time making it, and I just absolutely loved this trip to London so much. And I love traveling, so it was really fun to be able to just, you know, get on a plane and go somewhere. And I am going on another trip in 2 days, actually. I'm going to Milan with my bestie Caro, so you can anticipate another travel vlog in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I won't take 2 weeks to edit the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you very soon with another travel vlog.